So now I would like to invite our second presenter, and with the paper entitled Botnet Detection Using DNS and HTTP Traffic Analysis. And the researcher are Mr. Agung Udiono, Mr. Charles Lim, and Mr. Lucas, also a good friend, old friend of mine. So to the host, could you please help whether the presenter is going to present the work or we're going to play the video again as before?
I will present my
presentation. Thank you, Mr. Agung. Your time is 15 minutes and we should have 5 minutes for question and answer. Please start your presentation.
Thank you, Pak Haria. Good morning all. Thank you for your opportunity given. My name is Agung Udiono. I just finished my studies in Master of Technology, Information Technology at Sudirman University. And this paper is the result of my research in completing my master study. This paper is entitled Botnet Detection Using DNS and HTTP Traffic Analysis, and under direct supervision by Dr. Charles and Dr. Lucas. Okay, let's start with the introduction. We start with the background. Number one, large malware growth every year. Based on research conducted by AV-TEST, it appears that the number of malware grows every year is very large. Number two, some botnets use legitimate traffic such as HTTP and DNS. To evade detection, bot maker use normal traffic for botnet communication with GNC server. Number three, difficulties in botnet detection due to a small number of botnet in a large network. We know that the internet traffic on a company is very large and it's difficult to perform a fast and detailed traffic analysis to find a small botnet traffic. Research objective: analyze DNS and HTTP feature that used by CNC by botnet to communicate with CNC server. Number two, choose some feature that can be used to distinguish botnet and benign traffic. And then number three, obtain the best classification method to distinguish botnet and benign traffic. And the last, apply to enterprise network. Next, research methodology. In this methodology, we divide into 4 stages. The first stage is pre-processing. At this stage, after getting the data set, we do a feature extraction so that we have benign and botnet host profile. The second stage, we analyze the existing feature and we choose which feature we will use in the next stage. In the third stage, we use machine learning with 3 different classification algorithms to get the best accuracy. And of course, we use the validation method as an effort to avoid overfitting. And finally, we have a model which we will apply in step 4 on the last step. And the last step is we apply the model that we have to the data set that we take from the company network. Data set. We use a data set provided by City University, Czech Republic, captured between 2010 and 2019. We got 76 botnet traffic and 17 benign traffic. And the second data set we get from a company network with 100 active users, which we call then the enterprise data set. How to obtain data is in the following picture. We perform tapping on the core switch using the port mirroring technique. Feature extraction. From the existing data set, we perform feature extraction. There are 10 features with 6 DNS features and 4 HTTP features. The first feature is the number of DNS requests, which we label as D1. A high number of DNS requests indicates botnet activity. Botnet searches for CNC server or updates their activities to CNC server. So they have a high number of DNS requests. Furthermore, other feature from the 2 number of distinct DNS requests, the 3 number of MX record queries until its HTTP feature is 1 HTTP method and S4 HTTP user agent. Result in discussion, feature analysis, DNS. The first feature we discuss is the DNS feature. The first feature is the result of feature the 1 number of DNS query, the 2 number of distinct DNS query, and the 3 number of MX record. It's apparent that there is a high value on the DNS requests. This indicates botnet activities. The second picture is the result of feature the 4 number of PTA record, the 5 number of DNS server acquired, and the 6 number of NX domain. There appears to be a high MX records, which is unusual for normal traffic. The second analysis is HTTP feature. This is a result of H1 number of HTTP post method and S2 a set of HTTP request body lengths. It seems that there is a very large size of HTTP request body length, which is rarely used by human in internet access. The second picture is the result of H3 distribution of IP geolocation and H4 invalid HTTP user agent. It's apparent that there is a large distribution value of IP geolocation. Usually, the bot maker will place this CNC server in several places to avoid IP blocking. Classification. From the training dataset that we already have, then we put it into the classification process. We use 3 classification algorithms to get the best value. Of course, we do cross-validation method to avoid overfitting. And the result we get the performance classification as follows. On the 3 algorithm we use, decision tree, random forest, and KNN, the random forest algorithm has the best performance compared to other, which is 86%. Applied to enterprise dataset. Next, with the classification model we already have, we apply it to enterprise dataset that we described earlier. We have a total record 6 client in enterprise dataset. Apply to model, and we focus on IP 10.10.10.52 because this IP was detected twice as a botnet. So this IP is suspected as botnet. To make sure that IP is suspected of being a botnet, we will do some analysis. First, DNS query tracing. It can see the random. The random domain name. This is one of characteristics of the domain generation algorithm or DJ activity. And then the second is DNS server tracing. There is a local IP as a DNS server, but this IP is not part of the IP on the local network of the company. So this is a fake DNS server. And the last, URL tracing. This IP tries to perform a query or suspicious URL, which is after checking on virustotal.com. They claim that this is a malware activity. Conclusion. Future DNS and HTTP can be distinguished between botnet and binary traffic. Random forest classification have 86% accuracy on C2 dataset and tested on the enterprise dataset as well. A future work. Explore more feature of DNS and HTTP. to improve accuracy of classification and choosing algorithm other than random forest to get more complete comparison. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation, Mr. Agung Udiono, and I would like to invite everyone to pose their questions related to the presented work by Mr. Agung. Please feel free to post your questions in the chat room. Okay. There's a questions. I'm not sure if this is related to the work, but maybe Mr. Agung can help to answer. Is 1.1.1.1 legitimate IP address a famous VPN that can be downloaded on the App Store? Apple Store promotes security and speed by changing your gadget DNS to, yeah. I think it's not directly related to the work, but maybe with your backgrounds in the cybersecurity area, you can help to give us some insight related to the questions. If you would like to help to answer that, please.
Okay, IP 1.1.1.1 is a legitimate IP address from Cloudflare. It's owned by Cloudflare, hosting a cloud provider. So this is a legal DNS server provided by Cloudflare for their client. I think so.
Okay. Thank you. Is there any other questions? Maybe while waiting, I have one question, Pak Agung. You used 10 features and you mentioned that you did feature selection. May I know what kind of feature selection technique or method did you use so that you end up with 10?
Yes, I use based on the statistic analysis that for 10 feature, this behavior is far from benign and malware behavior. So the malware botnet activities or botnet behavior is have a high of value compared with the benign traffic. So we use a statistic statistic analysis.
Okay. So you're using a statistical analysis to select the 10 features.
Yes.
We do have another questions from Wayne. Again, maybe it's not directly related to the work because as I understand, your work is about training some classifier to detect botnet or benign. But the question is, does antivirus protect against botnet? Do you think so?
Some antivirus can protect botnet, but some antivirus cannot detect because botnet, as I described in my first presentation, and the botnet growth every year with the different techniques. So they grow with difficult technique to detect from antivirus, from administrator, fileware. So it's like police with criminal. I think so.
Thank you, Pak Agung. Do we have any other questions for Pak Agung regarding or related to the work? I actually do have one more questions, Pak Agung. From the results, you are using 3 different classifier, and you found that using the forest 3 is the most highest accuracy that you can get in comparison to the decision tree. But as I understand, forest is actually a collection or a combination of a decision tree.
Yes.
So usually it requires longer time and resource for training. while the difference in the accuracy is not really that far. So if you have to choose between accuracy and resources or time that you will have to sacrifice to train the classifier, will you suggest to use decision tree or still forest?
The decision tree and random forest not not more the not more different time, but in this research I don't research from the timing that they use. So we concentration on the accuracy value only. But I think random forest is with decision tree that no far off timing.
Yeah.
Different.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Pago. I think that's answered the questions.
Okay.
We still have time. Does anyone have any further questions for Pago regarding his work? Okay, if there's no more questions, okay, there's another question. How your model is trained? Did you use cloud services or local computer to train your model? As you pointed that it might require iteration process epoch to get its accuracy.
Yes, I train my model on my local computer. I don't use cloud. This is a little data set, I think. So there is no high specification of hardware we need.
Yeah, I think it has been mentioned, Pak Agung used cross-validation, so the dataset will be, may I know what's the K for cross-validation?
5.
5, so five-fold
Yes, 5-fold
cross-validation. So it will be repeated 5 times by splitting the dataset into 5 different set. Maybe may we know what tools did you use? Did you use RapidMiner or maybe Weka, or maybe you write your own code?
Yes, write my own code with Python.
Oh, using Python. Okay.
Yes.
So I think that should answer questions from Aan Kasman. So the model is trained using 5-fold cross-validation, and the tools that Pak Agung use is his own code written in Python. So Pak Agung did not use any tools like RapidMiner or maybe Weka or other data mining tools. Okay, any other questions for Pak Agung before we move to the next presenter? We still have time, actually, around 2 minutes. Okay, if there's no further questions, then I will close the this presentation. And thank you, Pak Agung, for presenting your work. I think it is very interesting and useful. Hopefully this can be implemented and it will be very helpful for the company to detect attack coming to the network, actually. Okay. Thank you again, and good luck with your future work.
Thank you, Pak Arya.